last time, yeah.
3 of the 5 judges did this last year. All right, so y'all have 11 copies of the rubric in front of you, and I have some extras if for some reason you need any extras. You've also got a notepad if you need to write any notes down, and you should have a pen. As I was saying a minute ago, this, unlike all of you, except for you, Brian, have judged for Launch U, which is our like Loyola pitch competition that is our team's pitching startup, right? This program, actually, I think you did IDEAcorps though. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this program is very much, these teams have worked for 2 months with 11 startups and small businesses from here in town to build a strategy to scale 50% over the next 18 months. So they have been consulting since the end of January, working with these teams, and the goal is to see whose strategy is the most realistic, basically, and who's can actually move the needle for that startup, right? So 20% of this is that strategy, is that plan holistic, realistic, and actually attainable within the next 18 months. Those mileposts and budget, they should have very clear, very straightforward mileposts for what those next steps look like, and how that's going to be attained. Those are kind of that, and then this systems, what upgrades to those systems that they're actually using, whether it's for cost of goods, customer acquisition, operations, whatever it is that is the process they're scaling. How is that actually being implemented, and is it actually realistic, right? The rest of it all kind of combines for the other half of the whole score. Sales, cost of acquisition, margins, staffing, overhead, and funding. These are all things that they've all seen this rubric before. They know they need to be touching on these things, and you need to address how they'll be able to keep those numbers flat while still growing the rest of the business, right? So I've seen most of the decks. Actually I've seen all of them now. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be really solid. Do y'all have any questions specifically about any of this ahead of time?
I guess we can ask questions.
Yes.
Yes. And the pitch we're doing.
Yep, yeah, after. So they have 6 minutes, great question, thank you, Marvin. They have 6 minutes to pitch. Maya's keeping time over here. This is one of my lovely students, Maya Butler, she's amazing. Also West Bank, go West Bank. West Bank is the best bank. So Maya's gonna be keeping time over here. You'll have 2 minutes-ish after their 6 minutes. That basically is gonna account for 2 questions. So not everyone's gonna get a chance to ask each team a question. There's 11 teams. If we let that happen, we would be here for 4 hours. So that's kind of the gist of it. Any questions about this rubric at all? Okay. So it really it's about making sure that that at the end of the day,
don't fall in love with the idea so much.
yes,
Just focus on
the strategy. And yes, and that's the other point. All 11 of these companies are at very different stages. Some of them are already in market. Some of them have been in market for a few years. A couple of them are family businesses that have been around for a decade. So this is about, is that strategy that this team has created for them realistic and attainable, right? Cool? All right. Hey, Brian, you've done this before, so
yeah,
you're good. You can, how are you?
I would have panicked, but I'm fine.
Yeah.
How are you? Are you surviving?
What did I say earlier? They're lucky the building's not tall. Is what I said earlier.
The building's at what?
They're lucky the building's not tall.
I was on the 6th story.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Mine don't either. No, I'm kidding. We're good. It's just, there's been some hiccups this week with some of the network stuff. So we're,
You know, from the outside, it always looks great.
well, I appreciate that. I'm not going to tell any all the hiccups are, so maybe there won't be hiccups anymore by Thursday and Friday when we're on campus. But that is that. All right, so we're going to try to get started in the next. Okay, we're right on time pretty much. We're going to get started in the next like 5 to 6 minutes so that we can start right at 6. I just got to wait for them to tell me that the live stream is ready to go, and then we'll go from there. Oh yeah, it is one wired microphone over here. Just amazing what I spent all this money on this program. Four wireless microphones. So we have a wired mic that's plugged in right here. Just be careful with that line.
I don't mind, like,
Elizabeth.
when you decide who's going to be the one to ask the questions, and it's usually like 1 or 2 people.
It's going to be, they've got 2 minutes, so it kind of depends on how long their answers are. It'll be probably 2 questions, like max, all the time. So, like, if everybody got a question, and if we did that, we'd be here all the time. So. Yeah. So 8 minutes total. Questions will like go like up to 3 minutes if you have to, if they're often kind of clock down the answer, but ideally it's stick it right on time. We did I was like, this is not on time. I would like to do that. My best friend is the COO at IDEAcorps, and so she is, yeah, that's in the back. Check what size you got, because I think it's too large, isn't everybody? But if you need another one, I've got different sizes up there. I might have some mediums, and I've got some extra ones that don't have small. But, okay, cool. Okay, or do you want, there's a medium up there. You want to
I'll grab it.
Okay.
Medium.
You want medium, just Brandon? Okay, great. All right, we're gonna go let people in, and then yeah. And you can see those notebooks too. That are same as just the letters.
Oh, I
haven't seen them since.
that's very different than what I
Yeah, yeah, no. Right. And they've had 6 weeks virtual data work, and then they get. Really? Yeah, no, with this, it's very much like you have everything complete basically before you get here. Saturday we took them to scale. Yeah, we're trying. Friday night was out for happy hour. Saturday, well, we forgot it was Lent, so I got them all hamburgers for dinner, and that was kind of a mistake. Oops. That's right. Saturday we did, they were at scale all day to work.
Exactly what it looks like.
The next day, then we went to dinner at Frankie Weinberg's restaurant, Good Catch. Oh yeah. Well, I'm glad. It's I haven't really slept in like 2 weeks, but all right. Well, I'm glad it's not. Yeah, that's right. All right, we're gonna get started in just a minute, and we'll get going from there. Thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. Hey. Okay, so what's always weird about this is when we do this event and I have you guys staggered over here, there's nobody over here. So, hello. All right, hello, we're gonna get started. My name is Sam McCabe. I'm the director here at Loyola University New Orleans Center for Entrepreneurship and Community Development, our terribly long name for a really great place to be. So, hello, welcome. First off to all of you guys, welcome. I mean, thanks for being here in New Orleans. This has been a blast with all of y'all this week. And we'll talk about that in a second. And then welcome to our founders and everybody else that's here as part of New Orleans Entrepreneur Week. We're really excited that IDEAcorps is back as a lead partner event for NOE this year. And we can't wait for all these teams to pitch for y'all. So this is the 2025 IDEAcorps MBA Consulting Challenge presented by Dr. Bobby and Lori Kent Savoie. These teams, all 11 of them for the last 2 months, have been working with 11 startups and small businesses here in New Orleans and around the region to develop a scale-up strategy to help move the needle for all of these startups and small businesses. That is not an easy thing to do. What we've asked them to do is to build a strategy to scale their company at least 50% over the next 18 months. And that's difficult to do, as they have seen. And what's even more interesting is that all 11 of these companies are drastically different and drastically in very different places with their companies. Some are family businesses that have been around for over a decade. Some are new startups that have been around for less than a year. Some have products on the shelves. Some are still getting there, right? So what we've asked them to do is a pretty difficult challenge. So we are grateful for all of you guys that have taken on this challenge and been a part of this year. Flip my page, I'm sorry. And to the next slide. Oh, the welcome slide, there it is. Hello, I already said welcome. So this year we had 11 teams, which is the largest that this has been since I have taken over this program. So that's been really fun. We've had a really amazing group of almost 70 MBA students in town since Friday night that we've also been working with since January. We took them to Urban South for happy hour. We took them to Scale Workspace for a work day on Saturday. Took them to a local restaurant, Good Catch, for dinner on Saturday night. Went and did a French Quarter tour, although I think on Friday night most of them did their own French Quarter tour. And then on Sunday we're here working with rehearsals with a pitch coach. Yesterday we got to do a tour of a bunch of innovation hotspots here in town. Got to go see all the new Superdome renovations with a private tour from Mike Haas, the voice of the Saints, which was awesome. And then got to go to the shop and got to go to the Bioinnovation Center and then meet with Barry Kern at Mardi Gras World. So we had a really great day yesterday also. They've been busy too. I don't know when these people sleep. So thank you guys again. So we got 11 teams this year, right? We've got, in alphabetical order, the Manderson Graduate School of Business at the Culverhouse College of Business at the University of Alabama, the Harbert College of Business at Auburn University, the Chapman Graduate School of Business at Florida International University, the Boulder College of Business at John Carroll University, the Flores MBA program from LSU, the Fred Keisner Center for Entrepreneurship at Loyola Marymount University, our own Loyola University New Orleans College of Business, go Wolfpack, the College of Business at Southeastern Louisiana University, the Haslam College of Business at the University of Tennessee, Knoxville, the Albert LePage Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation at the Freeman School of Business next door at Tulane, and the Olin Business School at Washington University in St. Louis. Yeah, all right. And they've been busy. They've been working with AutoSmart Detailing Vocational Institute, Encore CO2, Schools, Cantaloupe AI, Yoro, Cloud9, Tipsy, 4D, Crescent City Color, Deorc, and SafePush. So that's our 11 startups and small businesses. Give them a big round of applause. They've been busting their butts. And look, there's their logos. I only have 2 hands, I'm sorry. Check them out. We have 5 amazing judges that are all fantastic people that are all also Loyola alum too, which we love to see. We have Brian Danos, MBA of 2010. He's the COO of Plan Notice. Eric Delgado, class of 99. He's the co-founder of Izinga and some other businesses as well. Brenna Kane, class of 10 and MBA of 18. She's the founder and CEO of Ritually. Philip Lepere, MBA, class of 20. He's the director and machine shop technical advisor at Latrim. And then Marvin Saborio, the VP of International Banking at Gulf Coast Bank and Trust. And I'm realizing Marvin is not an alum. He's on a, you are? Okay, cool. See, I don't have that written down. I'm sorry, I need to keep that in mind. So thank them for this. They have a hard job, but they have to score all of these people and be fair about it. And go Wolfpack. And that's our prize. So first place earns $20,000 for that company client. And this cool light up trophy, which is fun. I found those online a couple years ago. The MBA team also gets $5,000, and that's all cash. We cut you a check to go for that company. You get that funding to go apply this strategy, hopefully. And that MBA team, hey, congratulations, you busted your butt, you get paid. How about that? We also have 2 runners-up, which is $2,000 for 2 companies and $1,500 for the teams that worked with them throughout this program over the last couple of months. Of course, we also couldn't do this alone. There we go, I can do the button. We have our friends, the Idea Village, Greater New Orleans, Inc., and Scale New Orleans, who helped us do all of this year. GNO Inc. put on our tour yesterday to the Superdome and Scale and the shop and everywhere else. And then Scale gave us the day at their workspace on Saturday so that our teams had time to meet with their teams and meet with their companies and work. So we're very grateful for all of them. And then, of course, the Idea Village, who are our partner in a lot of a lot of different things right now. So very grateful for our friends at the Idea Village too. All right, that's all I have to say. Bobby, would you mind coming down and saying hello to everybody if you don't mind? Thank you. I didn't do a good handoff on that.
I'm not quite sure why Sam wanted me to come down here, but how about Sam, the Energizer Bunny? I mean, never runs out of energy. Woo, good job. He's doing this, Noe, and I don't know how many other things all at once, and he's constantly moving. Can't keep up with him. I get tired watching him. Thank you to all of our judges, all of whom I know from different walks of life. Brian and I actually work together in one of my companies. I'm the Dean of the College of Business at Loyola. I've done that now for 15 months. I am not your typical dean. I spent 42 years in business. 36 of those years were spent starting and building and selling my own companies. I've done 3 exits with 3 very successful companies, and I retired, and that lasted 2 months before President Cole made me come back and be the Dean of the College of Business, which I am having a ball doing. So thank you all for being here. I think it's really cool that y'all put these teams together, work so hard, come in, and the guys from Loyola Marymount came in from Los Angeles. I like y'all, Dean. Good group. Thank y'all for coming so far. I had an office in Huntsville for a long time, for about 15 years, and my vice president was from Auburn and wore blue and orange every day, and his best friend, who was his assistant, was from the University of Alabama, who had elephants all over his office in crimson and white, and they were best friends except for 1 week out of the year, which was the Iron Bowl. And since my undergraduate engineering degree is from LSU, you know, I'm kind of pulling against both of y'all. And I'll pull for LSU. So seriously, to have a group like this come in and spend the time you're spending and have the opportunity is fantastic. I wish something like this existed when I got my MBA from Loyola, which was in 1981, before the majority of you people in this room were born. But I'm here to say thank you. I love sponsoring this thing. I wish I could judge it, but I couldn't be objective enough since I am the Dean of the College of Business at Loyola. So in that case, Sam, take it away. Welcome, everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, Bobby. Yeah, I wanted Bobby to judge this, but his name's on the program, and he's also went to like 3 of these schools, so sorry, guys. All right, so it's time to get started. All right, so reminder, each team has 6 minutes to pitch. The judges will then have 2 minutes to ask a couple of questions. I don't have a way to shut the mics down, but you will hear an alarm go off, so we'll be good to go there. And teams, remember, our lovely Maya Butler in the front row will be keeping time for you guys. Up first, pitching on behalf of our friends at AutoSmart Detailing Vocational Institute, our lovely two-lane team from next door. No.
Hi, everybody. I want to introduce you to Patrick Kelly. Patrick is a native New Orleanian with a lifelong passion for cars. He started his first car washing business at the age of 15 years old, and in the years since, he's developed a deep expertise in the auto detailing industry while also mentoring New Orleans youth. He decided to take these 2 passions, auto detailing and working with youth in the community, and launch AutoSmart Detailing Vocational Institute, which is why we're here today. My name is Serena Deutsch, and I'm here with Jake Kubel and Amanda Phillips, representing the two-lane MBA team, and we've had the privilege of getting to know Patrick and his vision over the last 7 weeks. AutoSmart Detailing Vocational Institute, or ADVI, as we'll refer to it today, is a first-of-its-kind program in the state of Louisiana, offering hands-on, industry-credentialed training in auto detailing for youth of the city. And there's a real need for this program, which we'll get into in just a minute. The flagship program is 10 weeks, where students meet once a week in the evenings for workshop-style sessions. Half the courses are focused on tangible auto detailing skills, and half are focused on financial literacy and business skills. So youth can graduate with 2 viable career paths, auto detailing or even becoming an entrepreneur. These career paths are really important, especially locally. Unfortunately, both New Orleans and Louisiana are overrepresented in terms of youth who are out of school or out of work. But we really believe that based on industry trends, especially seen in a recent Wall Street Journal article, skyrocketing interest in vocational and trade programs really show the momentum behind this movement. And we believe Patrick's program can help fill the gap for youth in New Orleans. So with that, I'll invite Jake to talk about our growth strategy.
All right, thank you, Serena. So before we could focus on the class itself, we had to think about getting students in the class. So what we've done is partnered with 3 local nonprofits, Thrive New Orleans, Youth Force NOLA, and the Net School, to help form this student pipeline. Each of these organizations deals with some type of workforce development, youth outcome, or educational service provider. Additionally, we're in the process of having ADVI designated as a vocational institute through the LA Gator Scholarship Program to help students with the cost of tuition. And lastly, New Orleans, being a very word-of-mouth town, we've created this QR code to put on a flyer to spread throughout local businesses to really increase our ground game. Next part of our model, we had to think about the long-term outcomes for our students and really a value proposition in this case. We believe that graduates from this program will have up to a $36,000 per year earning potential, which is 57% higher than Louisiana employees without any sort of post-secondary education. And that's within the auto detailing industry specifically. However, we also want every graduate of this program to be prepared to start their own business or apply an entrepreneurial skill set to a completely other industry if they so choose. Like John here, who used his industry expertise from the program to start his own detailing business. So with that, I'd like to pass it off to Amanda. We'll talk about some financial projections.
Thank you, Jake. So upon our first meeting with Patrick, it became very apparent that he had a strong entrepreneurial spirit and a passion for his community. However, there was a slight gap between his idea and his overall execution, which came from a lack of financial forecasting to really see where this project would go in the long term. So as a CPA with a love for Excel, I knew I had a duty not only to him, but the local community. So about 400 journal entries and 100 VLOOKUPs later, we were able to produce a very detailed balance sheet and income statement for him to really see where some of his key financial metrics would go over time. So some of the key metrics I like to highlight are revenue, as highlighted in red. We expect about a 100% increase from 2025 to 2026. Additionally, we see a steady growth in net income, which I'll touch more on later. And the most exciting to me is the overall cash increase, which starts out negative in the beginning, but quickly skyrockets, which will allow him to reinvest back into his business. A little bit more on net income growth. So for some of my marketing majors in the audience, a little accounting 101. We all know that revenue minus expenses equals net income. We do a little bit of a rearranging, and we get that revenue equals expenses plus net income, with expenses being broken down into fixed and variable expenses as outlined on the right. And we can see that we're able to capture a greater margin and lower cost of customer acquisition over time as fixed expenses as a percentage of overall revenue decreases. And with that, we were able to provide Patrick reassurance that this project was not only profitable, but meaningful and feasible. And with that, I'll allow Jake to give our closing remarks.
All right, thank you, Amanda. We plan to continue our partnerships both for student outcomes and for our pipeline of new graduates of the program. Additionally, we hope to pursue public and private avenues for additional funding to help the cost of tuition. And we hope to take the financial projections and load them into a user-friendly accounting software such as Yoro to help ADVI really get onto its feet. In conclusion, we thank you all for being here. Judges, we hope you'll consider Mr. Kelly and his impact not only on the future of the automotive industry, but on the future of the community here in New Orleans. Thank you.
Hi, good job. Could you elaborate a little bit more on what is the cost of the program and more of the details of the financial aspect of it?
Yeah, so the cost of the program is $1,500 for the tuition and about $250 for the supplies expense. In the short run, Mr. Patrick plans to subsidize about half of this cost out of his own pocket. And then over time, as these scholarship programs really come to fruition, we plan for those to be subsidized.
Mr. Clancy here. Hey, good work, bud. Seriously, that's awesome. I do have a question. I think something that was for me glaring is what's the end result for, say there's 10 students, 10 new detailers in New Orleans, no problem. Say this gains traction. Now there's 100. Now there's 200. Now there's 300. At what point is there a point of inflection where there's just a saturation of people in the detail space?
Yeah, it's a great question. So part of that we're tackling through a lot of these community partnerships. So we've already set Patrick up with some conversations with sort of larger scale companies such as automotive groups or rental car companies that might be able to help with training and then hiring on employees sort of whether locally, other parts of the state. We think there's potential beyond just New Orleans. But that's also why the kind of entrepreneurial skill set is a piece. So the training is in, obviously car detailing is the one specific piece of it, but the sort of general business skill set, the learning more broadly about cars, we think is more applicable. So sort of a mix of partnerships to have a really solid pipeline as part of the business plan, in addition to having sort of other potential pathways means, you know, I think with this starting with just a couple of students, maybe 100 over the next, you know, this time period of this project, I think we have a solid runway before that, you know, becomes any sort of issue.
Solid answer.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, judges. Thank you, Julie. All right. Up next are our friends from just down the road in Baton Rouge, LSU, pitching for Encore CO2.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming to our presentation. We're the LSU MBA program, and we have Encore CO2 as our client. So, we all know that carbon emissions are a global issue this world is facing. It causes global warming, ocean acidification, and also air pollution. This is a major threat that everybody's dealing with. Louisiana is one of the biggest culprits, coming in at the 6th highest nation, or 6th highest state in the nation when it comes to carbon emissions. Louisiana has invested $20 billion into carbon capture and sequestration efforts. Sequestration is the process of taking carbon dioxide and putting it back into the ground. People are paying billions of dollars on this process, and there's no commercial value in it. Enter Encore CO2. These brilliant minds from Louisiana have a mission of promoting sustainability while trying to create valuable products from carbon dioxide. From a very high-level view, Encore CO2 takes carbon dioxide, puts it through their electrolyzer, and this converts it into ethanol. Most people think of ethanol as just something you put in your car, but it has so many other uses, such as being the base for most alcoholic beverages.
And this is where we meet Electra, the world's first hard seltzer produced by way of carbon emissions. Encore CO2 is taking sustainability to a whole new level by using one of their assets and turning it into a brand new revenue stream. So we wanted to identify 3 customer personas that we like to target: our social sipper, environmental enthusiast, and our lively local. Our social sipper is going to be a young person who loves to hang out with his friends, doesn't like to drink a whole lot, but enjoys fruity alcoholic flavors that a seltzer can offer. An environmental enthusiast is one that's going to be more keen on environmentally friendly products. This person's going to be willing to pay more for those said products. And our lively local is someone that loves Louisiana. They were born in Louisiana and they're still living in Louisiana. And they're always going to prefer a Louisiana brand over a large corporate brand. And as LSU students, we all know the drinking culture around here, so we thought it was funny we were positioned with an alcoholic beverage.
So after researching our target audience, we suggest that Encore CO2 market their product as 97.8% carbon neutral and also Louisiana focused. And we want to value top flavors in the market like lime, watermelon, mango, and black cherry. So we suggest that Encore CO2 implement these marketing tactics through local events, a QR code on the back of the hard seltzer can that allows customers to see their positive impact on carbon emissions, and to also promote sustainability through their products and their packaging.
Our product implementation strategy is designed to be low risk. We first start by co-packing the seltzer in limited quantities so that using the scarcity model to drive up urgency as well as demand. We want to allow them to gain revenue and also test their flavors, branding, and customer reception to determine if there is a market to move into the general seltzer market. These are 3 co-packers that we have identified based on their sustainability values that align with Encore CO2's. We are leaning more towards Abita since we want to maintain a sustainable product and reduce transportation emissions since the ethanol is going to be produced in Louisiana. For our distribution channels, we're primarily going to focus on retail stores like Rouse's, bars and restaurants like Fred's, and local events like the various festivals and other sporting events in the Louisiana area to engage the community and also improve brand recognition.
So as Maggie talked about, we're suggesting that Encore CO2 utilize a co-packing facility in order to minimize their risk and lower their costs. Co-packing facilities lower the costs because they offer large-scale manufacturing processes for local small businesses. They also have in-house quality assurance and supply chain management teams to deal with shipping and logistics. Additionally, Encore CO2 makes around 26.1 ounces of ethanol per week, and Abita Brewery has a minimum order quantity of 3,000 cans. That's a lot of ounces. So we suggest that Encore CO2 bolsters 7 weeks of production of ethanol, ship it to Abita for that minimum order quantity in that first batch. So what's the significance of it all? We have calculated a 625% increase in revenue compared to just selling ethanol on the open market. In addition to that, we are giving them a cash balance of 30 grand after the month 18, and they meet the basic requirements to apply for the SBIR Phase 2 loans, which is $2 million. Currently, they have little revenue stream outside of non-dilutive funds. So there is proof that this idea holds value, but there isn't a tactical or a tangible product from the idea. In months 1 through 6, we have a letter of intent from Rouse's to stock the cans on the shelves, and they will increase brand awareness throughout the Louisiana area. Months 7 through 12, they will start to scale the technology to increase the ethanol production per week, and they will also start the application process for SBIR Phase 2. In months 13 to 18, they will look to go back to their original values of going into the oil and gas industry and really changing the way Louisiana looks at carbon sequestration. Thank you for your time today, and I will now open the floor to questions.
Great presentation. Can you talk a little bit about the cost per can here, both from the production side and from the retail side, if you are trying to get into the retail market?
Yeah, so Encore CO2 currently partners with a Baton Rouge brewery, Tin Roof Brewery, who is no longer in business, and Tin Roof Brewery doesn't currently have a distiller's license, so we calculated their cost per unit to be around $1.50, and then the cost per unit for Abita Brewery was around $1.15. So it's 35 cents a can, but also Tin Roof Brewery would be required to apply for a distiller's license, which is $4,000 in year 1, and then $1,500 every year after that.
And what would it retail for?
Oh, the retail price was at $3.50, which is a little bit above the industry average, but we assume that sustainable people are going to pay the premium for that product.
A couple of quick questions. Can you talk a little bit more about your startup costs and when do you think you'll be breaking even? And is this the first time that this will be a food product based on the carbon?
So this won't be the first time a food product. There's a company that has produced a vodka from it, and they have been successful. But this will be the first seltzer that's a little bit more applicable in the Louisiana space. And also, could you repeat the first part of the question regarding the break-even?
Yeah, just the startup costs, and then when do you expect to be break even?
So currently, Encore CO2 has the mechanism, and they are currently producing the ethanol. So there's no startup cost in the actual technology involved. The startup cost would just be that minimum order quantity of producing the cans with Abita and the co-packing facility, and also any marketing costs associated.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, up next are our friendly Wolfpack team. Hello. I'm gonna love myself. I love going here. I love Loyola. I love getting to show you guys all what's going on here in New Orleans and here at Loyola. So, without further ado, I'd like to invite our Loyola team up to pitch for Dr. Valencia Bell and schools. Kristen.
So tonight I'm going to tell you a two-part story. First part of this story starts with a little girl that when she first met the world, she was judged if she should live in a brick house or a wooden house. That girl has grown to be a teacher, a doctor, and a leader, and it started a mission to reshape that worldview. Well, the second part of the story comes from this retired veteran where I believe that this is a need-to-scale company, not a want-to-scale company. So what is Schools? Schools is a highly effective, low-cost test prep company that aims to end intergenerational poverty due to student loans and high test scores, or due to low test scores. So, of the senior staff, Dr. Bell has over 40 years of experience. They have for everything from test prep, workforce development, and intergenerational programming. Along with their workforce development, they hire all of their teachers through their Grads, Grands, and Veterans program that is currently sitting at 100. And they're all certified in the Bell Award-winning teaching method that is recognized by Harvard, MIT, and the Wharton Business School. So the problem, 73 million students are going to search test prep. In these services, half of them are going to get low test scores, and they're going to take on student debt. Schools has the solution. With 10-point increases in a fraction of the cost and time, competitors simply can't keep up. Looking at the top 3 competitors, Schools is $155 compared to their $2,000 to $7,000 courses. They're at 6 to 12 months, and Schools is at 5 weeks. What they provide is a 14 5-week teacher-led online program that also has 1,000 additional questions translated currently in 3 different languages. They make money in 2 ways, either B2B or B2C, which comes back about 94 cents for every dollar gained. As a bootstrap company that has had no marketing plan, they've still managed to make impact as being the first BIPOC female-led Alabama B Corps that's brought in $300 million in scholarships to over 300,000 students. Of those 3,000 or those 4,000 students, they're seen as to live below the federal poverty level. So, all this traction, they've met their inflection point. Essentially what's happened is they don't have the staff or the ability, their platform, they've exceeded the capacity due to this increased demand. Well, I have a plan. How about we turn Schools into the Peloton of test prep? So, Looking at the market, $22 billion in the SAM and $23 million in schools this song. And yet, with all this success, they're still only working less than 5% of their SOM. So, I rolled out a two-phase plan. What we're going to do is to expand the staff, and we're going to move on to a different program. We fortified the brand. We are now federally registered as a sole source entity trademark, which has given us the ability to seize competition and competing with larger companies in government contracts. Aside from that, we've also gained channel priority by partnering with two companies. So Blast is going to be our launching platform where we're going to host all of our subscriptions. Additionally, we've negotiated to launch our beta program for our asynchronous launch. I'll get into phase 2, which actually successfully ran during this last ACT test platform. Additionally, activating our 100 teachers that are all certified. We've also partnered with ACT. This was a big win for us. You can find schools in July just by clicking 2 steps. They're annotated in the words of ACT as a high-impact organization, which is a premier source for K-12 test prep. So, forging our trademark, our channel priority, and our ability to leverage the fully certified teachers, we are ready to transition from district to state-level contracts, and then with the next plan, you'll see globally. So in phase 2, we're going to launch the asynchronous platform, and then we're going to include the final 6 languages. So what is an asynchronous platform? Well, it's an online access to students through 2, 5, or 6 weeks, self-paced, and they have access to Bell-certified pre-recorded lectures. Now they're going to be translated in these 6 additional languages, and they can be accessed anywhere, anytime. So phase 2 is complete. This has given us the time, since we're so ahead, the ability to, if we wanted to, look at licensing agreements. Here's what we invested into the program. And then here's the takeaway. The takeaway, 8.29% overall annual growth, and I left the second phase unlimited. But most importantly, I wanted to just leave this rest of my time out to Dr. Bell to say, you've gone where no one else has dared to go. You've completed in success what they said couldn't be done. Your company is now scaled and ready to go global. Godspeed.
Thanks so much. Can you just, I guess when I think about the success of this program so far, and then you think about how you scale something that has been highly based on the founder themselves, can you just talk a little bit about this kind of secret sauce to the success so far and how that's actually going to work when you hit scale and this is being done asynchronously and not with the founder themselves?
Sure. So it goes back, I think the proof's in the pudding. I think that the base is the founder. So all of the pre-recorded lectures, those are all Bell-certified teachers from the workforce development program that are going to essentially, whether they be teacher-led or asynchronous, it's the same. One thing I didn't mention in here, just due to time, is that Blast also has an AI psychometry option, which is interesting because it lets the student in the asynchronous portion work through what is typically programmed by programmers, but now this is actually programmed by teachers. What this means is that a student can hop into the system 2, 5, or 6 weeks, and they can get this assessment to be where they are when they need to be, as if they were in the teacher-led class. So if they are working and they can't actually access like traditional students in these 5-week windows, they need more time, they can rely on this AI option as it evolves to put them in there. Did I answer your question? Okay.
The peloton of testing is pretty cool, I get it. But do you have any, what other companies out there are currently doing that type of teaching? Because I'm only putting myself in the shoes of a dad who has 2 kids. Like, I don't know if, yeah, there you go, go find it, go moving past. I don't know if, like, I would trust my daughter to do this on her own, right? Is there proof that these things actually work without having a teacher live with questions, answer questions, so on and so forth?
You're referring to the asynchronous portion.
Yeah.
So the proof is in the same teaching method. The option of, I guess what delineates this, right? Because you look at the asynchronous portion, you're like, does it work? Well, we know it works. The question isn't the fact of their teaching method. It's the matter of where is the student. I think the student has the 2 options. I think that schools has the ability to meet that student where they are. So when we say student test prep or the Peloton, if they didn't want to go to asynchronous and a parent did want to have the oversight that they were getting guidance from the teacher, then it would be more appropriate for them to hop into the expanded teacher-led programs in that window before the ACTs.
Awesome. All right, thank you, judges. Appreciate you guys. Scrolling. Give the judges a second real quick to finish scoring. And I'm going to tell you all a real fast story about these light up things. All right, so the first year we did this program 2 years ago, when we kind of brought this back, we had originally found just some like light bulb shaped acrylic things, and they showed up the day before the competition, and I thought when I ordered them that they were going to be like as big as my head, right? I thought they were going to be pretty large, and they showed up and they like fit in the palm of your hand, and they were like this big. And they had like a little tiny IDEAcorps logo you can read on them. And I was searching my backpack during Christopher's pitch to Sarah a second ago because I used to keep it with me every day to remind me that sometimes things are little. All right, so I think I gave the judges enough time there. So up next are our team from Auburn with Cantaloupe AI.
Good evening. We're the Auburn University team representing Cantaloupe AI. I'm Michael Dees.
I'm Riley Ferguson.
I'm Cole Shangles.
I'm Courtney Faulkner.
The hospitality industry has a painful problem: turnover. On any given year, 76% of positions within the industry will turn over. That's 200% more than what is seen in other industries. Not only is it a
painful problem, but it's an expensive problem as well, where the cost of a bad hire can be up to or even more than $8,000. Well, tonight we're here to tell you about a group of people from within this community, both New Orleans and the hospitality world, who have come up with a solution for this problem called Cantaloupe AI. Cantaloupe AI is not your average applicant tracking system. It features a fully vocal, fully emotive artificial intelligence named Clio that performs pre-screen interviews on applicants, ensuring that they're not only a right fit, but have staying power before moving forward. This helps to reduce the workload of hiring managers and reduce quit rates.
Based on Cantaloupe AI's current technology and infrastructure, their primary customers are restaurant groups and hotel groups with about 6 to 9 locations. Looking at this, some potential new customers we look to add are S.C.H.O.O.L.S and BRG Hospitality. When looking at new customers, we want to really go after and streamline that communication by targeting their key decision makers, such as HR heads, hiring managers, and CFOs. So how are we going to do this? We're going to implement a 3-pronged sales strategy that focuses on outbound sales, inbound sales, and strategic partnerships. Of course, with the goal of increasing sales, we also want to increase Cantaloupe AI's overall brand awareness and recognition within the hospitality industry. Now, let's look at outbound sales. Outbound sales, we want to use an inexpensive tool called Apollo AI. This will help generate those new leads. We also want to become more present in these industry events and conferences where these key decision makers are and allow them to not only familiarize themselves with Cantaloupe AI, but what Clio is capable of. Next, we want to use a CRM and expand our sales representative team to really ensure that those leads become those new customers. Based on the 18-month timeline, the sales will be implemented across the entirety with emphasis on the beginning, hiring and training those new sales representatives, and then in the summer, which is the peak conference season, to ensure those leads become our new customers.
Then as we began looking at the inbound sales strategy, we first wanted to focus on a referral program. What this would be is current customers of Cantaloupe AI will have the ability to refer new customers within their network, with the reward being a 25% discount in the first quarter of use. Next, we also wanted to focus on LinkedIn and thought leadership, increasing Cantaloupe AI's visibility on this platform by posting things such as market data and industry insights will ensure that we can reach these key decision makers that Riley spoke about earlier. When you look at the timeline below, this is something that is going to be consistent throughout the 18-month strategy and beyond as Cantaloupe AI continues to grow. We also wanted to work on search engine optimization, especially in the first 2 months of this strategy, because we want to ensure that when you search hospitality applicant tracking system, Cantaloupe AI is what you see first. We also wanted to work on strategic partners. First, we wanted to work with hospitality vendors, and more importantly, their sales reps. By tapping into these sales reps and the networks they have created, Cantaloupe AI can enter into target markets they might not have had access to before. We also wanted to work with universities such as LSU, Loyola New Orleans, Tulane, and the University of New Orleans, and work with their hospitality students. By working with these students, we can offer them mock interviews with Cantaloupe AI, and the students and faculty can see how this system works, and then spread it to the network that they have created as well. We also wanted to work with their sales teams and their sales centers and bring them on as student and sales interns in these peak summer seasons when things get very busy for Cantaloupe AI at those conferences. When you look at the timeline with that, we really wanted to wait and start that in Q1 of 2026, ensuring that Cantaloupe AI is present and established in the industry is what we wanted before we started working with external partners.
All right, so now that we've walked you through our strategy, we're going to walk you through some of the financials, starting with projected revenue. Based on Cantaloupe's tiered pricing strategy, we expect total revenue over the next 18 months to reach $2.8 million. This will be financed through a budget of $218,000, which mainly covers the cost of hiring on those additional sales representatives, as well as covering cost of the conferences and other expenses that we discussed. However, this allows Cantaloupe to still maintain their 92% margins that they are striving for. This will be funded through current cash on hand, as well as potential future grants offered by Tulane's Innovation Institute and the University of Louisiana Monroe. The KPIs that are integral to us achieving these financial goals are a 10% response rate from the lead generation tactics, 25% of new customers coming through that referral program, a 5% lead conversion rate, an 80% retention rate of current pilot customers, and a 50% increase in website traffic. We'd like to thank you for your time and open the floor for any questions.
Great presentation. Is there a way that we can make this AI tailored to specific positions, or it will be more generic?
So they do, it's hospitality specific because it matches kind of known personality traits, things like that, that match up with those positions. But I do believe they do have the technical capacity to tailor for larger customers. They do hope at some point to be with more enterprise type customers that it could be tailored specifically for maybe a personality set that that particular employer is looking for. But yes, it is customizable at this point.
Okay, but within, let's say within the hotel or the restaurant, would you hire different positions, or is it specific to, I don't know, waiters or?
Yeah, no, like you could put a, like that you're looking for a bartender, right? Or you're looking for a front of house person at a hotel specifically. Yeah, it's not just a generic hospitality hire, it's position specific.
Can you talk about the startup capital as we speak today, where most of it's going into? What is it? It's systems. Is it marketing? Is it brand development?
So mainly right now they've raised close to $500,000 and they were recently accepted into Techstars, and so they're anticipating $1 million in total funding by the end of this year. So they're still looking for future grants. And most of that is going towards the technology and then salaries of employees. So they have about 4 current employees. And so that's where we're looking to add those sales representatives to increase brand awareness. But most of the costs currently are the technology. The fixed cost per interview at scale is about 69 cents, which is really great if you think of the time it takes a hiring manager to conduct any kind of pre-screening interview, having that cost that low, but it does take getting to scale at 33,000 interviews. But so most of the costs currently are technology and salaries of employees.
All right, while the judges finish scoring their stuff, I really just want to point out all of the SEC schools with the matching ties and everything. I love that. That is fantastic. I'm sorry, I'm a sucker for good design and well put together. I'm wearing a suit, but that's fantastic. I'm sorry. All right, so what's great about this program is that we get to work with a really wide variety of companies and clients and students. And I think you can see that so far, right? We've had a vocational school, we had a CPG, we just had AI, we had a tech startup, we've got an educational startup, we get the opportunity to work with a wide variety of different companies and see really what makes New Orleans really great. So I think our judges are ready to roll. Yes, all right, I need to click through the appendix because I wasn't paying attention. There we go. All right, up next are our friends from southeastern Louisiana up on the North Shore. And they're going to pitch for Robert Haynes with Yoro.
Have you known that the functional beverage industry is projected to grow by 7% this year? But most companies have a hard time penetrating this market. This is due to consumers wanting energy, focus, and refreshment, but without the crash and jitters of a highly caffeinated energy drink. Yoro was specifically designed to meet this demand, but it takes more than just great taste. Southeastern Consultants, we have partnered with Yoro and came up with some central recommendations for Yoro. My name is Blake.
I'm Joseph.
I'm Caitlin. I'm Hannah. And I'm Madison.
And with our recommendations, Yoro will not only ride the wave, but be the wave.
So Yoro is not your average beverage company. Yoro is a company that focuses on enhancing the well-being of others, of people. By doing this, Yoro is focused on using things such as adaptogens and other natural supplements. Adaptogens are herbal plants that help to maintain balance within the body. Yoro has already made a good statement. It has been featured in storefronts around the New Orleans community. It has also been featured online, and through this, they have been able to sell over 17,000 units and amount over $60,000 in sales.
We have came up with 3 dynamic buyer personas to meet our audience. Our first one is Macy, the busy mom. She uses Yoro to bring energy to her busy and nonstop life. And then we have Will, the wellness enthusiast. He uses Yoro to make sure that he gets in his need state to fuel his body and mind. And lastly, we have Pam, the Pilates instructor. She is extremely health conscious, so she uses Yoro for its healthy and safe ingredients.
Within the first 6 months, we will begin an affiliate marketing program offering a 10% commission on sales.
we have identified 3 real-life influencers that we believe will target our specific audience. So these influencers have over 2 million followers across multiple platforms, and with this program, we expect Yoro to gain 3,000 new customers.
By a show of hands, who here has ever put something in their Amazon cart and decided not to purchase it, but received an email or a text message later on that week? So that's usually due to an automated communication workflow such as Zapier. We have recommended Zapier because it can directly link to your Yoro Shopify and pull email addresses from our previous customers. For example, the workflow that we have here will see the fulfilled cart, then it will delay the amount of time to when somebody would pretty much rebuy Yoro, and then it will automatically send them an email. So according to omnisend.com, a welcome message has about a 3% conversion rate, and a back-in-stock email has about a 5% conversion rate. With all this combined, we can retain about 29% of our customers without physically typing and sending an email.
With our updated marketing strategy and our automated communications, we expect to sell to 3,000 new customers within the first 6 to 9 months, and our inventory will be depleted. Yoro will need to secure additional funds to pay for product renewal, salaries, commissions, and a new operation system. Potential funding for this could be the IDEAcorps competition prize money or a line of credit.
Outside of this, we have a new strategy for our operations as well. Through those operations, we are planning on switching Yoro into a third-party logistics company. Using this third-party logistics company will serve Yoro over $1,000 a month. That will come from packaging and storage. This will also be able to take our employees at Yoro, take them from working on the packaging, storage, and shipping, and be able to focus them more on marketing and sales. This will help them to not work in the business, but more or less work on the business.
In month 9, we plan to launch the Ultimate Sip-Off marketing campaign. There will be a limited number of Yoro 4-packs available for sale on the website, and 5 lucky winners will receive a code for a free Yoro 12-pack. So we expect this campaign to increase brand awareness by 35% while also increasing sales after the campaign ends.
With our new marketing strategy, automated communication system, and updated operation system, we expect significant financial growth for Yoro. As you can see, we will see a rise within the next 18 months in both sales and revenue. With our new strategies, we were able to take our customer cost acquisition from $36 to $2.13. As we can see here, sales revenue skyrockets with our 18th month strategy.
Starting all the way from the beginning to affiliate marketing, all the way down to our third-party logistics plan, our central recommendations will make Yoro the next adaptogen drink.
Great job. This is a very busy market at the moment and looks like an amazing product. Can you guys just talk a little bit about competition and how you guys are going to kind of face that as you hit the market?
Yeah, so most companies right now are really just only utilizing caffeine as their main source of energy. And so with Yoro, they're using things such as lion's mane extract and rhodolia, but I'm not going to bore you with all of the facts about that. But that's mainly to
I wanted to talk specifically about those. There's a bunch of those now, right?
Yeah.
So can you talk about how you're going to compete with the others that are in the adaptogen space?
Yeah, so really with the third-party logistics and keeping it very local, having it known that it's a local brand, and with our specific influencers, we believe that having those specific influencers and things such as that will position us higher than our competitors.
Hot mic. Sorry about that. Yeah. Here. Yeah. It's holding it too low. Make sure you get it up high. Yep. No, you're good. You guys come on up. You guys are early.
Even though we're a Division III school, we do have matching ties.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I wasn't. It wasn't about the. Okay. You're right. That's fine. It's
Well, we're
everybody's
tiny.
got.
You said SEC.
I did, but usually it's the SEC teams that have the matching ties, which I really appreciate that y'all all match. It's great. That's right. Hey, thank you. All right. Once my judges are done over here, it's good. We're having fun here, right? I wanted one of the faculty advisors that's here brought up to me over the weekend that this is a lot more fun of a competition than what some of the other competitions are. And then Brenna, who is one of our judges, did IDEAcorps when she was in the MBA. And many years ago, this was very much you're in a room working with your startup for 48 hours. And we try to make sure we have fun around here. And we try to make fun of each other. So thank you for that, Matt. I appreciate it. I'm going to give this back to you. I think our judges are ready to roll. Awesome. All right, up next is another one of our Jesuit schools, which we're very excited to have, is John Carroll University with Cloud9.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Julia McNamara, and I'm joined alongside Nicola, Richard, and Matt from John Carroll University's MBA program in Cleveland, Ohio. Cloud9 came into existence in January of 2023 after the founder, Isabella, was sexually assaulted on a local college campus. Isabella found the reporting process to be very confusing, not easily accessible, which led her to feel isolated, and she even contemplated dropping out of school completely. Unfortunately, there are many students on college campuses nationwide that feel lost and confused after being sexually assaulted. With 1 in 4 women on college campuses experiencing sexual violence, 95% of those incidences go unreported. To show you just how real this is, here are reporting numbers on all of our college campuses. The problem is that students do not feel comfortable accessing the on- and off-campus resources that are available to them. So Isabella turned her pain into purpose and created Cloud9, a chatbot app supporting students and survivors through the sexual violence healing process. Cloud9 intelligently connects students' needs to university resources in a conversational way using the chatbot Sky. Sky is the first intelligent, conversational, sexual response violence chatbot that offers universities peace of mind with 24/7 services to help mitigate liability risks and ensure compliance with Title IX nationwide.
Abuse and sexual violence is not only about rape. It could be many things, as sexual jokes, unwanted advances, molestation, stalking, or even an unprepared text. With that being said, over 26% of female students experience some form of sexual violence in U.S. colleges. 1 in 4 girls is a victim.
Hello, check. All right. Using Homeland Infrastructure Foundation level data, we're able to view the distribution of college campuses across the country. Our strategy is to target larger universities with higher incidence rates. Cloud9 will create a customizable solution for each university that coincides with their current policies on campus. So for systems and implementation, for Cloud9 to scale up, they're going to be adopting business intelligence tools like Tableau, project management like Asana, and a CRM like HubSpot, along with Barracuda networks and certification through Atixa.
Last 10 years, U.S. colleges have paid out an estimate $1.2 billion in lawsuit compensation related to sexual harassment and abuse. This breaks down to 7,500 legal cases, resulting in an average compensation of $160,000 per victim. For example, a college with 40,000 students has a legal liability of $1.6 million every year.
we want to really focus on being a business-to-business software as a service that's focused on user experience and client well-being. So we see 2 sales cycles over the next 18 months coinciding with both academic years. I'm starting to pick it up now. So the 15 schools will lead us to about 10,000 users by January of 2026. And this will provide us with the necessary feedback to ship new features and provide a further value proposition for the schools that are involved. So furthermore, getting into the second sales cycle, we'll be able to get 40 schools and 100,000 users by January of 2027. Moving on to customer acquisition costs, we see this as being about $750 for each university, and this should remain stagnant as Cloud9 transitions into the corporate sector and secondary education. Looking at the revenue and budget for the next 18 months, we plan on using a discounted revenue system to get schools involved early on. Again, this is going to get us to that 15 school mark and 10,000 users to get that necessary feedback, to create a product that's going to be serving students and victims the way that it needs to be. Doing this will get more schools interested and will lead us to that 40 school mark, getting us to a much better revenue of $4.75 million in the second year. The biggest operating expense lift is going to come with cloud infrastructure and security and compliance associated with going from around 10,000 users to 100,000 users. And now I'm going to pass it on to Julia to finish this up.
So what is Cloud9 going to do with the $20,000 from the competition? Our immediate action would be to get company equipment and data security protection, as well as enhancing the sales outreach and tech training programs for the staff. We would also look to hire a Title IX coordinator or a legal advisor to gain the credibility across all college campuses nationwide. As college students, this is a platform that we strongly believe in and believe it can make strides in the Title IX EdTech market. We thank you for your time and attention, and will now take any questions.
Interesting product. Thank you for the presentation. Why would a school decide to invest in Cloud9 instead of investing in preventing rape and all these other things that would lead to?
So the current, with the current infrastructure that most universities have, so they have the ability to do all of this, and they're trying their best. So it's that when the sexual violence occurs, the problem is just getting to the resources is a problem. So the chatbot, the whole goal is to just make everything more accessible. So when resources aren't just really easy to get to, and it causes similar problems with different women across the same university, this is what leads to those legal cases, because it's a bunch of people coming together because the resources aren't available. So something like Cloud9, again, so it's like a $1.6 million liability each year for each school if you have something like 40,000 students. So we, in the appendix, can you go to the 2 slides? Yeah. No, you have it. So here you can see the revenue structure for schools based on size. So it's about $12 per student, and so if they were to, so if a big school pays us $400,000, it's just their liability is just going to go away, more or less, because if you are interested in getting the resources to properly handle your issues, you'll get to them through the Cloud9 app, and this won't be a problem for the university. It also, the actual perpetrators get caught.
Great job. I wanted to hear a little bit about who the buyer persona is, because obviously selling into education is notoriously long sales cycles. So could you guys just talk a little bit about who do you sell to, or who's your buyer, and who's the kind of decision maker in that?
So the colleges and universities would be the clients, and so you'd have Title IX coordinators or just university administration making the calls on this. So one of the suggestions we have is bringing on a Title IX coordinator onto Cloud9's team to further talk to those Title IX coordinators at universities to help them understand what exactly this is doing liability-wise for the university and actually showing the value proposition that Cloud9's unlocking. Does that make sense?
So we got some hot mics. Hot mics. All right, thanks, guys. Sorry about that. All right. Yeah, good. Cool. All right. Ooh. We're going to keep it with the Jesuit love here in a moment. And our friends from California, Loyola Marymount, are going to come join us here. is that? Let me check it. It is. Hey, check. They fixed it, I think. Yeah.
Test.
I'm going to set the scene for you. 2 nights ago, we went to a local dive bar. It was definitely a Metallica bar, and we requested an Usher song. Totally not the vibe. Hi, we're Loyola Marymount, and we have been so excited to work with Tipsy, who has been such a great client for us. Tipsy is an online software that focuses on the bar patron and paying and requesting for songs. And the bar owner can go ahead and take a revenue cut from that as well. For us, their business model is simple. They're easy to implement, they are able to get revenue for their bars of a 70% split, and Tipsy also gets 30%. More songs means more revenue for them. For us, we found that Tipsy had 3 major problems. Their selling to bars is pretty hard to come by. For them, they are a relatively new brand, and also for them, they have high credit card fees that are really hard for them to scale their profit. We have really enjoyed working with them, and we will keep going onto the roadblocks. So limited sales strategy, they had a very, very relative new brand, and their high credit card fees as well. Industry snapshot for us, what we found with Tipsy is that they were a great product to have in your hand. A lot of our competitors are something on the wall, and we wanted to keep everyone with their friends. For the bars that we are also in, they are, for the bars, we find that it's easy to implement for them, and that's a huge selling point. We absolutely love that aspect of it.
We realized that in order to understand Tipsy, we needed to try it out for ourselves. With Tipsy only operating in Louisiana, we decided to take it from one LA to the other and host the first ever Tipsy takeover. A one-night event hosted at our favorite local bar, S.C.H.O.O.L.S, to allow the bar and its patrons to try Tipsy out. We packed the bar with LMU students, friends, and even music industry professionals. The bar was popping, and the music was completely curated by the bar. We had fun, and we also gathered insight. Out of wristbands, coasters, and flyers, our QR code tracking system showed that coasters dominated, taking 86% of 115 total scans. Better yet, the bar owner was thrilled with the event turnout, seamless setup, and the no-risk financial benefit of Tipsy. We now had the insights and data needed to take Tipsy to the next level with a scalable growth plan.
First, acquisition. Getting into contact with bar owners is notoriously difficult. We created a plan with Tipsy to make over $1 million by onboarding 200 bars in the next 18 months. After the success of our first takeover, we saw that Tipsy can scale fast and organically through an ambassador program that has no upfront cost. College ambassadors will introduce bars to Tipsy's, host takeovers, and turn bar owners into clients, just like we did with S.C.H.O.O.L.S. To motivate ambassadors, they'll receive a 10% revenue share for the first 3 months after signing a bar. The bar will keep 70%, and then Tipsy will take 20%. To help ambassadors close sales, we created a real-time revenue calculator to show bar owners just how much money they're leaving on the table with physical jukeboxes that typically only return 20 to 30% of song request revenue to Tipsy's 70%. Our goal for our sales and investment strategy for just the first 6 months is $20,000, which Tipsy may not be coming across soon. This will be split across ambassador bar crawls, once-a-month events to recruit, train, and appreciate our ambassadors, and industry nights. Invite-only events for bar owners and managers to see Tipsy demonstrated live, network, and enjoy free food and drinks.
Once in bars, Tipsy needs to keep users engaged and requesting songs. Based on insights from our Tipsy Takeover event, as well as my own experience as a DJ, we've developed 2 key product enhancements. The first is a smart DJ that allows bars to transition songs quicker, leading to a 12% increase in songs played per hour. The second is an engagement strategy designed to keep users engaged. We developed and tested a Mayor of the Bar feature, which allows users to compete to earn mayor status by requesting the most songs each night. During our event, this led to a nearly 30% increase in songs requested among top users on the leaderboard. Currently, Tipsy's business model only allows for users to purchase one song at a time. We propose a bundle system that allows them to purchase more songs without repeated checkout processes. It keeps the focus on the fun and less on the payment screen. This strategically incentivizes customers to purchase more songs, leading to an increase in revenue per customer and a decrease in total fees paid by Tipsy.
By adopting our engagement strategy, Tipsy will have more requests for songs, which will increase their overall request rate from 28% to 35%, which will increase revenue by $150,000 over the next 18 months. When it comes to bar acquisitions, we're recommending they throw 4 Tipsy takeovers a week and throw 25 industry leader events over the next 18 months in order to acquire 200 bars in the great state of Louisiana. Our cost of acquisition is low at $390. Our estimated monthly revenue per bar is $425, meaning we recoup this cost in less than a month. We expect Tipsy's revenue to grow at a compounded monthly rate of 29%, while maintaining consistent margins, and as ambassador sales incentives lapse, those margins will expand significantly. Overall, Tipsy will make over $250,000 over the next 18 months that they can then further invest in growth.
Over the last 6 weeks, we didn't just consult for Tipsy, we became part of the team. We had a blast getting to know our founders and even got our hands dirty hosting our own takeover event right in our own city. Please join us tonight for our first ever Tipsy takeover in Louisiana at the Little Easy. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, great presentation. This was top notch. Is that really happening tonight? Yeah. Oh wow. Well, hey, I might be there. From the publishing and the payments to the artists and all that stuff. I mean, have you guys thought all that through? I mean, we really didn't see the financials on there, but how much of an impact does that play into this business model? And your bar owner in LA, I mean, his testimonial real. Did you see revenue growth? Did you see more register rings? I mean, can you give more feedback on that?
So that's a great question, multiple parts. I'll answer the rights first. If you are a public organization, a restaurant, a bar, you have to pay rights if you play music. And this could range anywhere from $900 to $3,000 a year, depending on what you offer. If you offer live music, it's more expensive. Right now, Tipsy does not pay those for the bar, but this is a way that bar owners can pay that very easily. In the future, Tipsy is going to look into making that part of their value proposition.
And then to answer the second part, we have connected the owner of the Cinco bar in LA with the founders of Tipsy so that they can finalize and close that sale. But he made over $1,000 during our 3-hour event just through drink, food, and the presence of everybody who showed up.
Yeah, great job, and especially getting that, getting your first bar to sign up just as an advisory group. That's really impressive. Talk more about the costs for the bar. Are there any startup costs for the bar, or are they just making money off of the transactions? And the second part is, if people are not purchasing, is there a playlist that's auto-generated that's playing until somebody makes a purchase?
There are no startup costs at all. You can install it in less than half an hour. And what was the second question?
I'm assuming if there's nobody, purchasing a song, there's a playlist that can be curated by the...
Yes, exactly. So there's an automatic playlist that runs that is set by the bar owner depending on what vibe they want in the bar. So if it's country bar, or if it's classic rock, or if it's classical music, they pick their vibe and it runs automatically if there are no requests.
And is it an app that you download on your phone, or is it just a web app that you go to when I scan the QR code?
Right now it's just a web app.
Okay. Great.
I also want to answer the second part of that. I feel like their key differentiator is being able to set the bar, and that's why I wanted to tell that story in the beginning. A lot of times you can go into another competitor's bar, and sometimes you can, for lack of better words, troll the vibe of the music. With Tipsy, it's really great because the bar owner, like Luke said, can choose that vibe, and then you can't really go out of that, which is really great.
Oh, getting there. There we go. All right, I'm going to play double duty here for a second because I'm about to switch to timekeeper. All right, hold on a second. I'll do it all. That's right. That's why Bobby likes me. All right. Judges, how you guys doing over there? We're rocking and rolling. We've only got a couple of left. This is great. Up next, we have our friends from Miami. Well, from all over, from Florida International University, pitching for 4D.
Good evening, everyone. It's 7:30 p.m., and I know we're all feeling a big natural drop in energy. Research studies show that after 4 p.m., our mind and body start to significantly diminish. This is just one situation when I know all of us could really benefit from a big jolt in energy.
On that note, who is 4D? 4D is a clean energy drink developed specifically for athletes. It was made as a solution to simplify your routine. Instead of taking multiple supplements throughout the day, you can rely on one 4D product, which provides key performance and recovery support in one product. It's formulated specifically to help improve your focus, boost joint mobility, muscle recovery, and promote healthy skin. Overall, it has no sugar, no additives, no GMOs, and provides a much healthier and actually beneficial solution to the energy drink market. So, as we can tell, 4D is a strong product and has a strong foundation, but after 13 years in the market, it hasn't experienced the exponential growth that they're seeking. So we've identified the key strategic areas where they can improve to reach the next level.
We have found that the three main problems that 4D has are as followed. The first is brand consistency. 4D offers a clean energy solution, but the package says differently. The second issue is that they're not effectively reaching their customers. And lastly, 4D has a lack of white labeling, and we are working to leverage that.
The marketing funnel is a framework that explains the process through which a customer discovers the brand, considers it for purchase, and converts to sales. Drink 4D has a product with a good value proposition. However, some of the advertising tactics in the past have caused leaks to this funnel and a loss of customers along the way. We hope that our solutions help increase the brand awareness and improve the conversion rates.
Introducing 4D brand transformation. You will notice how this is refreshing for your eyes, right? Well, this is the same way we're expecting our consumers to feel with the new branding. 4D, it's a company with a huge potential, but with an unclear message. They are relying on their 4D name, but the truth is that it doesn't have a meaning. That's why we're proposing 4 new pillars for those who are looking for determination, discipline, drive, and durability. Also, we made a whole new brand identity with new colors and also a redesigned can. Now it looks clean, it looks modern, and it looks that something that belongs to your daily routines. We also brought a new brand message. 4D, more than energy, it's performance. Because at the end, 4D isn't just about energy. It's about what it comes after: clarity, determination, and resilience.
The biggest opportunity that 4D has to reach customers is digital marketing. Currently, 4D is only on Instagram and partners with college athletes. A great start, but one that can lead to more. We are currently proposing to move to TikTok. On TikTok, we will partner with gym-going influencers to broaden our audience. While on TikTok, we will also be able to use TikTok Shop. This will be able to turn views directly from a view to a sale. We will also promote TikTok Spark ads. These ads can help engage viewers by 30 to 50%. By using these tactics, we'll be able to lower our current CPC from $35 to around $15.
When the Super Bowl came to New Orleans earlier this year, tons of brands flooded the streets with on-ground sampling and promotional events. But 4D didn't take advantage of this opportunity. They had the opportunity to engage with their audience in their own backyard. To make sure we don't miss out on opportunities like that again, we're proposing a field marketer or a brand ambassador to be added to the 4D team. Right now, 4D lacks a strong retail presence, meaning that potential customers aren't physically connected to the product in their day-to-day routine. So a field marketer could help bridge that gap by putting the product into the hands of the people, actual real consumers who are trying the product before making the decision of purchasing it through the website. So where would we start? We've identified the key areas where our audience would most likely purchase and engage in these promotional events. So this includes marathons, fitness and wellness expos, as well as industry conventions in the health and nutrition space. To track the actual success and conversion of these events, we'd be using event-specific discount codes to be used on the website, as well as QR codes that lead them to custom landing pages. Additionally, to get more customer insight, we'd be using consumer feedback forms that'll help us understand what they think of our events as well as our products.
Another way to increase revenue is to focus on other business model, like white label production. What is white label production? White label production is to produce other brands' products, right? So right now, 4D has excess capacity, making the fixed cost higher for what you're selling, correct? 4D has the chance of produce 4 times more, keeping the same fixed cost. They already have the industry knowledge and all needed equipment. So any extra revenue from white label production will increase the profit for the company. Now this is our target for the next 18 months, and these are the projections for that target. The goal with our proposal is going from 118,000 gross profit to 325,000 profit. That represents 187% increase.
More than energy, it's performance. So energize with drink for
D.
D. For D. For
D.
Good presentation. The energy drink market is such a crowded space, right? I've always found with companies I've started, finding a niche is the best approach. And so I want to hear more about what y'all, when you went with the rebranding, it still seems like we didn't niche down enough. We had a lot of different things, marathons, and you're going to appeal to a bunch of different types of athletes. One of the interesting things that I heard that I said would be an interesting niche would be when you said it improves skin or whatever. Like, that's an interesting niche that I haven't heard a drink do. Talk about that. And then the other thought is with the white labeling, who are the customers you're going after? Are you talking about creating white label brands for influencers that you're talking to, or are you talking about other brands that are in the energy market?
I think, so the first part of your question about the actual product and the customer, obviously the goal is to reach athletes. These would be people that want more than just an energy drink, because with these ingredients, you're providing the full supplement package. This is not just pre-workout, this is not an after-workout, you have the full package here. So that's kind of the main customer, and that's how Jason started the business. I think there's a lot of potential niche markets with customers who, I don't know, work professionals, people that, as you said, might care about the skin and energy. So I think there's a lot to be explored there as well. But the main customer would be the athlete. Okay. And when it comes to the white label.
Yeah, I would like to add some comments. We also propose to test the audience with some ads, test different audience and see the feedback from different audience and then focus on those audience. Then for the white label production, it's very broad. First, we already have one partner. It's Hotworks. It was in other presentation. So we try to get more clients and focus on also, because it's a saturated market, also focus on the level production. But since it's powder, it doesn't need to be energetic drinks. It could be any type of powder.
Yeah, just one more question. It sounds like the branding effort that you're putting forth is because this 4D hasn't really put much time and money into it. But are they ready to spend the kind of money that this branding effort talks about, the retail effort and so forth?
So during our cooperation with Drink4D in the last 2 months, they have hired a new agency to work along. So they have already an agency that they're paying for that is capable of making some of these changes. Additionally, they have their own warehouse and their own production. So a lot of the packaging and the making of the product, they handle themselves. So they would be able to implement those changes quite easily.
The $20,000 will help as well.
The money will help.
Great work, y'all. Congratulations. Ooh, that's hot.
All right, while our judges finish scoring up real quick, I actually really want to thank a couple of teams tonight. This is, like I said earlier, the largest group that we've had do this. And FIU, that's the first time they've been here. And they absolutely just killed it. So thank you guys for coming from Miami. We really appreciate it. Also had some new teams this year from WashU in St. Louis, which is great. My mom works there and is watching right now. And we're going to beat you, Mom. Sorry. And then also Auburn's back for the first time in a couple of years as well. So excited to have them back as well. Judges, you guys ready to rock and roll? All right, great. There's the button, and there's the mic.
Good evening. We're the Haslam College of Business representing Crescent City Color, an all-in-one paint and supply store that prides themselves, that's been in the industry for over 40 years and prides themselves in having all the supplies that you need. They currently supply within the automotive, house, and marine segments and have an average revenue of over $1 million. But with our strategic recommendations, we can take them to $3.5 million. But first, let's meet the color culturists. I'm Reggie.
Faisal.
Priscilla.
Nico. Nathaniel.
First, we're going to paint the picture, show you where they are, where we're going to take them, and walk you through our strategic mechanisms to help scale the business, and lastly, our timeline and financial portal. Now, let's paint the picture.
Well, before we spent our resources, we tried to reassess our current ways of working and found out that there is optimization opportunity in terms of sales visit, and there's opportunity to improve efficiency. So we propose to segment all of our customers into 3 tiers based on volume and margin and set optimal visit frequency to each of the tiers. Also, implement our own developed semi-automated optimization tool to make those visits. This actually reduces the travel time by 40%, giving more time to the customers and making more high-value visits, ultimately increasing the revenue by 20%. We also looked into our competitors. While they have their own strengths and weaknesses, currently Crescent City Colors follows the traditional low-cost strategy. With the industry benchmarks that prove the higher quality of the products, along with the customer-focused approach and the expertise they have in their field, they can shift to a value-based pricing with a revenue increase potential of 15%. Now, let's increase some loyalty.
Rewarding loyalty pays. That's why we designed the Color Club. This is a loyalty program which rewards our customers. Companies like Sherwin-Williams and PPG have already implemented a similar program, resulting in a 25% increase in repeatable sales and an increase in basket size by 20%. One key aspect we wanted to highlight were referrals. Referrals have been shown in data that over 50% of new customers have been going through this channel. Let's demonstrate how a customer's loyalty can expand our color palette.
A palette that truly matters. He has a 10-year relationship with Crescent City Color. However, the root goes so much deeper than this. They actually go back to this customer's grandfather. So on the right-hand side, you can see what it looks like when a company truly cares about its customer and making an impact on its customer. So how can we take this and capitalize on the opportunity? Based on our market analysis, we have identified that there is an opportunity to increase the reach in the house paint market. So the question becomes, how are we going to do this? Think hotel, B&Bs, interior designers, and contractors. We have reached out to these potential partners who are willing to partner with Crescent City Color. The way this is going to work, they're going to operate as an advocate for the company to expand its reach. So from here, the question becomes, how can we make this a reality and unveil the canvas?
On the left, we have Crescent City Color's current website, which is purely an informational page. On the right, we have a mock-up of a new website. This website will focus on enhancing the user experience, strengthening brand visibility, and ultimately establishing e-commerce capabilities. Our team has identified a local company that will develop and design this new website. Additionally, our team has developed a social media strategy that will combine curated posts on Facebook and Instagram with paid outreach campaigns on LinkedIn. An independent contractor will serve as the social media strategist for this initiative. With these additional efforts in marketing and advertising, we anticipate the need to hire a new salesperson. This salesperson will be found by a LinkedIn job posting that our team has created in order to fit the right person for our company's values. Once onboarded, this individual will work through a newly designed sales structure. So now that we've bolstered our digital presence and hired an additional salesperson, where does Crescent City Color stack up to the competition?
We initially benchmarked Crescent City Colors against our competitors and identified gaps in online presence and structured sales. With the improvements just proposed, Crescent City Colors not will only close those gaps, but will excel in all of these metrics. Now, let's talk about numbers. Here's a roadmap. First, we'll start with optimizing our sales strategy, sales routes visit strategy, and introducing the value-based pricing. Then by month 6, we launched the Color Club. At the same time, expand our reach in the housing markets through strategic partnership. After that, new website and social media, along with the new sales resources, will scale our revenue to the point we want to go. All of this will lay the foundation for e-commerce shipping beyond the 18 months period. So the first 2 zero-cost optimization initiative that we talked so far, this will give us an incremental revenue of $407,000. Based on our research, analysis, and industry standards, the cost that we have gathered so far for our scaling initiatives, the incremental revenue will fully fund them. But what is the impact of these scaling initiatives? That is, these are our current revenue channel-wise. Our scaling initiatives will take us to a desired number of $3.53 million. Not only that, our optimization effort will also decrease our customer acquisition cost from $200 to $85. So we are not only scaling our business and revenue, we are also doing it efficiently and in a cheaper way. So summarizing all of this, including our staffing addition, we are looking at operational efficiency increment of 35%, a COA decrement of 57.5%, along with an incremental revenue of $2.34 million over the 18 months, which translates to an ROI of 23.4 times. With that, we're happy to take any questions.
You mentioned one of the potential markets is hotels and commercial. Those people seem to be really, really price sensitive. So how do you stack up on your costs versus the competition?
Okay, Okay, so let's just go walk through the example for the interior designers. So what they really care about is developing trust. So they're not as price sensitive in the way this is going to work. They're really advocating for the company as a whole. So they're suggesting the product.
To add to that, low price strategy was our yesterday's strategy. Today we are focusing more on the value. So at the same time, instead of our values, we will still be able to match or beat current existing prices that are already in the market. Thank you so much.
I figured out the feedback thing, fellas. Only turn your mic on when you're going to talk. We figured it out. Thank you to our amazing AV team up top. Awesome. All right, we got 2 teams left. We're running a little behind. Sorry. This is what happens when you have this many teams. It's great. Up next, we have our friends from St. Louis, Missouri, Washington University.
Empathy. Empathy is a critical part of the human experience. Our founder, Marnie Demoriak, still remembers a time when her mom couldn't go to the bank and open up a bank account at the age of 24 because she didn't have a man there to help her co-sign. But look at how far we've come. Now, 85% of spending is controlled by just women. But not is all as it should be, because at the same time, less than 2% of financial advisory firms are owned and operated by women. Their needs are not being met. Empathy is not for women when they need financial help. What this leads to is what we call the trust deficit. So our founder, Marnie Demoriak, went out and she became a certified financial planner. She started Demoriak. That's her vehicle for helping the underserved become empowered through financial autonomy. She became part of the solution. And in no time, she scaled up. She's at over $180,000 in annually recurring revenue, managing over 200 clients. But she hit a roadblock. At an 11% operating margin, compared to an industry standard of 37%, big jump, managing 200 clients by herself, her ability to scale has become constrained, to say the least. And that's where we came in. I'm Had.
I'm Uche. I'm David.
And I'm Yapsara. And what we did was we came up with a holistic growth strategy to address these key areas in a 3-pronged approach: sales funnel optimization, operational efficiency, and revenue expansion.
To boost client acquisition, we developed a platform that is used to bring in customers while keeping acquisition costs low. We also created the Beehive Toolkit, a content platform designed to enhance bringing in customers by targeting them with newsletters. With this, and combined with a approach to invest in 3 different cities, Atlanta, Houston, and Nashville, we believe that we will bring substantial growth within the next 3 to 18 months. The outcomes are a reduced cost of acquisition, an increase in brand awareness, and a growing client base.
Operationally, we introduced activity cost basing, which is aligning Demoriak's specialized work with revenue-generating activities. Currently, you can see that Marnie is managing the entire value chain. And with this, it's leading to an inability to scale, as well as reducing her profit margins to 11%, which is well below the industry average of 37%. So with this, we applied activity-based costing to realign the work stream. And so with the addition of Ashton, we can now eliminate bottlenecks as well as reducing the average cost per revenue generating activities. And along with this, we are implementing a new AI tool that's called Your State, which will allow us to automate pieces of the workflow as well as reduce the manual tasking, which is increasing the effectiveness of Marinee. And by utilizing this, we can expect the firm to increase operating margins by 45%.
So beyond this, we also did market research and tried to understand what the market was charging in this area. And we found a surprising fact. We found that Marinee was charging way below the average on the AUM fees, which was also causing her scaling challenge. We looked at PNC and Capital One's asset management structure and found that they, on average, charge 1.7% on their assets under management. However, Marinee, despite the fact being a specialized and boutique firm, was only charging on average 0.7%. So what we did is established a new fee structure that allowed her to be back on the market standard while still also maintaining the market competitive advantage of having lower fees. To point to you how impactful this message will be, she's going to have an additional revenue impact of $214,000 just by going back to market. To put it into perspective, if she had lost half of her clients because they didn't want to pay these new fees, she would still make more in revenue by implementing this change. And we think that's unlikely because of the impact and the boutique and individualized nature of her services. So, with this being stated, we want to tell you why Deorc. We're asking for $20,000 specifically for the activity-based costing impact that we talked about in implementing the AUM fees. It costs money and time to communicate and also change the regulatory structures to make those fees. And then secondly, we're asking $6,000 to make the operational changes that we need to make sure that the data and resources of Beehive and the tech is there for us to use. So ultimately, 3 main reasons why you should pick this and Marinee. Marinee is a small business, and $20,000 represents 11% of her revenue. By investing in us, you're actually making a deep impact in a member of this community. 2, immediate return on investment. Our fee and referral program recommendations are so impactful that they are currently under compliance review in preparation for action. And finally, impact on the mission. Deorc addresses the trust deficit and financial autonomy that has not been addressed before. And today, we have the opportunity to make a difference. The Deorc difference. Thank you.
Guys, I mean, this is really well done. So congratulations. I really enjoyed the way you looked at the positions, the roles, the use of AI, new employee. I do think in developing a team is important. How would you guys approach the idea of, because you need a CFP, right? So there's just one. So as you grow and you use these AI tools and that additional employee, you're still going to have, I think, a ceiling to hit with the CFP certified financial planner, aren't you? Like, how do you overcome that? Because everything else looks spot on.
So absolutely. So we did the math right there, and currently Marinee's capacity is at 300 clients because of the fact that she's doing the entire value chain. However, with the addition of Ashton, as well as the new improvements in AI services that we're having, her capacity goes to 500. And when we look at the actual financial numbers, this is still not projecting out her having 500 clients. This is at approximately 268 clients at 24 months. So when you look at what she's doing right now, she can afford to maintain those margins, and she can actually scale now and hire on a new CFP because her profit margins and also her operating margins have improved.
That's the exact answer I was looking for, FYI. All right. Good job, guys.
I will. She was texting me the whole time. Hey, Mom, I know you're still watching this online. All right, we have one team left. So thank you guys for all being here tonight. I'm clicking through the appendix. You You guys did a nice job with your appendix. There we go. All right, we have one team left. We are really excited to have all of you here tonight. Thank you guys for being here and for being a part of this. Just a heads up, when we're done here on this stage, I'm going to let my judges out first to go get the food and the booze in the lobby first, because they've earned it. Not that nobody else has earned it, but they have earned it. So they'll head out first, they'll sneak out of there, and we'll get the scores calculated while you guys have some delicious food and hit the bar. So without further ado then, if my judges are ready, yeah, they're good to go. I'm going to hand the mics over to Alabama and let them finish this up. All right.
Hello.
Testing.
Test.
Test.
Picture this. You're being rushed into the ER after being in a serious accident, and you urgently need to receive medication given through an IV push injection. Your nurses need to manually inject this medication into your IV at a precise rate. Nurses currently estimate this rate by simply watching a clock. But when these medications are given too quickly, it can lead to serious complications, permanent injuries, and even death. Our founders, Dr. Jim and Tanya Aiken, are a husband and wife duo who have spent a combined 80 years working in the medical industry here in New Orleans. Jim as an ER doctor and Tanya as a nurse and medical malpractice attorney. Both of them have witnessed the dire consequences of this wristwatch medicine, including one of Tanya's clients who lost the use of an arm. They decided to finally solve this problem.
The solution is SafePush. SafePush is a simple, disposable medical device designed to precisely regulate the flow of IV push injections. It matches guidelines for standard medication flow rates, eliminating guesswork and preventing errors. This device is cost-effective and easily integrated into existing clinical workflows. This allows healthcare providers confidence when administering necessary life-saving treatments.
Over the past 6 weeks, we had the privilege of working with Jim, Tanya, and the SafePush team to understand their product with one joint goal in mind: creating a strategy to scale their business. SafePush has already achieved several milestones on their scaling journey. The product has sufficient IP protection with a patent and a trademark and has been accepted into an expedited FDA review program. The need for SafePush has been validated with overwhelming support from focus groups and hundreds of healthcare professionals. To continue building on this momentum, our team identified 3 primary objectives to reach scaling success: test, manufacture, and distribute an FDA-approved device nationwide. To achieve these objectives, we developed a strategy: fund, optimize, and advance.
Our first objective for the SafePush team is to fund product testing. The SafePush engineer is currently improving their prototype to consistently deliver precise medication flow rates, eliminating the 16.7% error rate in IV push injections. We learned that the main barrier for their current testing phase is funding, so our team identified 10 private and government grants that will support SafePush now and in their future phases. Grant writing can be a time-consuming and tedious process, so our team engineered customized AI prompts that generate high-quality grant applications quickly and effectively. Our prompts directly fulfill specific requirements on a grant-to-grant basis, leading to higher award rates. SafePush is already utilizing this technology and will successfully complete 2 grants this month. We calculated that Jim and Tanya can receive an expected $305,000 after 18 months and will complete these grant applications 4 times as quickly.
Our next objective for the SafePush team is to optimize their manufacturing methods. In order to increase gross profit margins, scalability needs to be accounted for. As a result, we worked with a SafePush engineer to evaluate several different production options. For prototyping, we determined that a hybrid approach of both CNC machining and 3D printing is the most optimal choice. For mass manufacturing, injection molding is a cost-effective method that produces high volumes. Our team also helped identify third-party manufacturers to help carry out both of these production methods. Overall, increasing, helping the manufacturing process for SafePush. Our recommendation provides SafePush with over $400,000 in cost savings and 7 weeks in time savings compared to their original manufacturing methods.
Finally, our last objective is to advance SafePush to distribute an FDA-approved device nationwide. We've identified the remaining steps in both the FDA approval and market entry processes to expedite the pathway to national distribution. By streamlining these two processes, we have set up SafePush to implement a phased go-to-market strategy while balancing the time constraints of the FDA approval process. Since both of these processes can be resource intensive, Jim and Tanya will lower the cost of acquisition by leaning on local partnerships developed over decades working in the New Orleans area. We have calculated that SafePush will earn $35.5 million and reach national distribution by year 7.
The Fund, Optimize, and Advance strategy provides tangible results across each of the key scaling areas. By month 18, SafePush will submit their FDA approval application. By using this strategy, SafePush will be prepared for continued growth and long-term profitability. Our financial projections indicate that SafePush will achieve a gross margin of $1 per unit and an EBIT margin of 40%. They will reach national distribution by year 7, reaching 25% of the total hospital market. SafePush is positioned for scaling success, but there is still one missing piece.
That missing piece is your $20,000. That $20,000 would go to covering the cost of their new and improved Prototype 2.0 design, so that the next time that any of you or a loved one need an IV push injection, you can rest easy knowing that you will receive a SafePush. Thank you.
So just cover one more time the funding that you're going to get to move from a prototype to a production unit, and then how critical is the production unit from a cost standpoint, a pricing standpoint, in order to get market share?
So right now, the main barrier to the FDA approval process is finalizing that Prototype 2.0. We have addressed these costs, and it comes out to about $20,000. And once we can get that FDA approval process, that's when we can really enter that market. We're aiming to reach regional distribution by year 5 with local distributors, and year 7 going to national distributors such as Baxter and BD. And by leveraging these strategic partnerships, we can really enter that market share as efficiently as possible.
Good job, guys.
All right, there we go. That's it. Cool. So once my judges are done scoring over here, you guys, I'm going to let you get on out of here first. If you guys are good, hand them to Elizabeth. Yeah, thank you. And I'm going to get the scores put in and probably have a beer, and then we'll hand out some money in a little bit. Sound good? All right. Congratulations to all 11 of our teams and all 11 of our startups tonight. This has been a really great group, and I'm really, personally really proud of y'all and just really excited about all the work you guys have done. So let me get my judges out of here first real quick, and then we will get going.
By the way, we were running a little late. Awards will be like 8:20, like 20 minutes-ish. I just got to put scores in. All right. We got everybody? We'll give it another second. I want to make sure we got everybody. All right. All right, I think everybody's kind of wrapping up with their beverages. Did y'all enjoy the food? All right. Please make sure you eat the food. We pay for the food. We want y'all to eat the food. All right. I got to tell y'all, this was a really great competition. Thank y'all so much, all 11 of these teams and all 11 of these founders. Like, this is the biggest that we've ever done this competition, and I was actually, like, personally very scared of that when we did this because it's a huge group, and you guys are also just some really heavy hitters team-wise. So, first off, thank you all. And on that note, since we're running a little behind tonight, I'm just going to jump right into it. This was a really, really amazing competition this year. Thank you all to all of you for being here for the last few days and for putting up with all of our emails for the last 2 months. And we'd love to see if any of y'all are sticking around. We'd love to see y'all at NOE later this week. Events going on all over town, especially the 2-day summit here on campus on Thursday and Friday. I know a couple people in here that are speaking. I know Sydney's speaking on Friday. One of our judges, Eric, is speaking on Friday. Brenna is pitching at Tulane Innovation Day tomorrow. How about that? Go Brenna. Good luck. But yeah, there's a lot going on for entrepreneurs here in town this week. There's a lot going on for entrepreneurs in New Orleans and the startup ecosystem here in general. And I hope that y'all all got to see that and be a part of that. All right, without further ado, we're going to just jump right in here. Reminder, we have 2 runner-up teams that will get, the company client will get $2,000 and the university team will get $1,500. And then the top first prize, the company client will get $20,000 and their university team will get $5,000. So first up are, one of our runners-up are our friends, Cantaloupe AI and Auburn University. All right. I got 2 giant checks. Come on down. Woo! All right. All right. Congratulations, Auburn, and congratulations, Cantaloupe, and our good friend Rich. Rich used to have a cereal startup and was one of the first students that I worked with when I started working here at Loyola. So I'm always happy to see Rich do well. Congratulations, Rich. Our next runner-up, who, again, their company client will get $2,000 and the team will get $1,500, is S.C.H.O.O.L.S in Alabama. Thanks, everybody. Big up to Frank for being the guy I call to take photos of giant checks all the time. Thanks, Frank. All right. This is fun. Thank you guys. I'm going to say this one more time before we announce top prize. Thank you all, each and every one of you, 11 teams. We hope we see all of you back here next year. I know we've got a couple of folks from different teams that are back in New Orleans for the second time that have been a part of this, and we love showcasing what New Orleans and Louisiana and even just here at Loyola can do for our startup ecosystem here and around the world. So without further ado, our first place with $20,000 for the company client and $5,000 for the MBA student team is Tipsy and LMU. Congratulations, y'all. And you also get these cool light-up trophies that you get to take home. I will give you... Absolutely. Let me see which one's which. That one is Tipsy, so wherever Tenley is. And then that one is you guys. Yeah, can we get the judges in the photo too, if you guys don't mind? And then, yeah, they do... Oh, it's not plugged in. And then here, do you guys... Yeah, let's do that. Sorry. They light up. Okay. Thank you all so much for being here and being a part of this. This was awesome. I actually do need to say thank you to Farrah Wells, who is the coolest person in the entire universe, and I don't know what we would do without her, and Elizabeth as well.
And one more thank you to Sam. Big thank you to Sam!
All right, y'all go have a good time. I hope y'all all go out to the Tipsy party tonight. Sounds like a good time to me. If I didn't have little kids at home and work tomorrow morning, I would go there. So... Oh, hey, and teams, can we get a big group photo with everybody, too, just so that we've got everybody, all 11 of you?